Hi guys, and welcome to the JESUSgirlENT podcast. My name is Shaniqua Robinson, and I will be your host.
嗨，伙计们，欢迎来到 Jesus Girl ENT 播客。我叫Shaniqua Robinson，我会成为你的主人。
Hola chicos y bienvenidos a JESUSgirlENT podcast. Mi nombre es Shaniqua Robinson y seré su anfitrión.
Hallo Jungs und willkommen bei JESUSgirlENT Podcast. Mein Name ist Shaniqua Robinson und ich werde dein Gastgeber sein.
Salut les gars et bienvenue sur JESUSgirl.ENT podcast. Je m'appelle Shaniqua Robinson et je serai votre hôte.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Now, let's get into the message.
Bad stuff when all you had to do was let go of the past and keep moving forward.
Now presenting my most recent publication, Yes You Can, The World from My View. Link to purchase located in description section.
Think about it.
Now, let's get into the message.
Let's look at chapter 3. You know, people are saying, well, you know, they want me to, they probably don't lie. Well, why don't you teach on this and teach on the flat earth and, you know, teach on, man, I ain't teaching on that stuff. Because this is, that the flat earth ain't what Christian problem is. None of that stuff they want you to talk about is their problem. That's why they want you to talk about it. What they don't want you to talk about is their real heart. Is why they can't get along with nobody. Why they can't stay in the church past 2 weeks. Why everybody seems to be against them. Why they out there isolated by themselves. That's what they don't want you to talk about. Why they still hate their mama. They don't want you to talk about stuff like that. Why they still think their baby daddy is the devil. Don't talk about that. See, don't deal with the real issues of my heart. Give me the peanut butter and smooth over. Give me something to smooth. Give me something to cover up all my issues so I go into deepness. Wow. That's why I said they know more about the New World Order. They want to talk about all of that deep stuff, Hebrew Israelite stuff. They want to do all of that, but the real issues of the heart, you can't get along with your wife. But yet I could tell you what Esau did, and I could tell, I could tell you what Jacob said. Now, what about what your wife said? I could talk about the children of Israel, but I don't even know what my own children are going through. Amen. See, there's a great hypocrisy in the church to go after knowledge and be deep, but skip over the issues that's really prevailing in our life. Selfishness is the last day mentality. This is what Satan is busy building, a culture of total. That's why, did you know the satanic motto or theme is do what thou wilt. That's satanic doctrine, 101. Do what thou wilt, which means do what you want to do. That's selfishness. Don't matter who it hurt, don't matter who it destroyed, don't do what you want to do. Don't matter how other people feel about it. You just do what you do you.
Many have experienced trauma.
They may be battling with trauma.
Learning how to handle their trauma.
Various forms of trauma.
This is why the JESUSgirlENT podcast is presenting the trauma response. Introducing Whisper.
Thank you guys for giving me a shot. And I'm a poet. Here we go. What's your name? My name is Mr. Whisper.
I had to find my manhood, you know, and I got hurt, scarred bad, trying to find it, looking for it in all the wrong places. And by the grace of God, I'm here. I'm good. So yeah.
Streaming on the Jesus Girl ENT podcast, available on all podcast streaming platforms. Tune in for full episode today. And always dream big. We are back with part 2 with Brother Timothy. Let's get into the message.
Yeah. And I remember at the end of that rough addiction, I was praying. I said, God, please take the taste of this from me. Please take this from me. I can't do it no more. I tried to stop. I tried to program. The program didn't work. I tried the 30-day, the 12 month, all of that. It didn't work. Lord, please, what's up? And I heard a still voice say, "You ready now?" All those other times you wasn't ready. The prayer was not sincere, but I hear and I feel your sincerity. And just like that, it was gone. But, the flesh still remembers. The flesh has muscle memory. So I still hung around some of the people who was doing some of those things I know I ain't had no business doing. I remember everybody was getting high, and I was wondering, wait a minute. How ain't we all doing the same drug? Yeah. How come all of them is high and I can't get high? No matter how much I smoked, no matter how much I drank, I could not get high. And I could hear small laughter in the background. You said you wanted to stop. And I say from 2016 till now, nothing. Yeah. So
here praying and I'm praising at the same time. Come on, Brother Timothy, you still come on.
So there's a flip side to that, young men, if you're listening, always follow your first gut instinct. When your little friends tell you, let's go do so and so, and you get that weird feeling because you know it's wrong, don't do it. Don't do it, because I done did it for you, so you ain't got to do it. If you want to know how it is, you could call me and I'll let you know that that's not going to work. For the young women, I did mention I got 3 daughters from 3 different women. Guess what the other consequence to that? My oldest daughter is a victim. She got 3, would have been 4, but 1 was stillborn. But 3 children at 27 years old, and it's 3 different daddies, and neither one of them are present. See, the cycle don't care who it get. A lie don't care who tell it, and the devil don't care. He will jump from you to this one to that one. They call it generational curses. Please, young people, don't get cursed out. You don't have to be, and I don't mean that verbally. Don't get cursed out by cursing yourself out, by making the wrong decisions because you didn't listen to the instinct that God put in you to warn you about what you're doing. There's no anger that can soothe whatever it is you feel if you just trust the process of God. You gotta believe in something other than you and your flesh. Anger, emotions will take you to places you won't imagine. Honor your mother and your father, for thy days be longer along the land. My mother, I love my mother, man. I wish like I would have been me now then. Right now, me and my mom, we best of friends. Best of friends. I talk to her every morning at 6:30 a.m. We are talking to God together, and then we have a conversation. Become friends with your mama on that level. Respect your mama, respect your fathers, but get to know them, have conversations with them. And you'll find out, I used to think that I had to lie because the truth hurt. I found out that, through my mama, and she would say, if you just tell me the truth, I might knock 5 from you, but it'll be all right if you tell me the truth. But if you lie to me, I can't help you. And
That's so true, Brother Timothy. And this is really, I just pray that the right people listen in to this, and everybody that listens, share it. Because you're sharing so many gems, even as you're speaking. You may want to get into podcasting too, Brother Timothy. You got a story to tell. I strongly believe it. And so I want to go back a little bit to the daughters. So when you mentioned that you had 3 daughters by 3 different women, and then you also mentioned that you had been married previously. So was the first wife one of those women?
No, I have no children with my first wife.
Okay. So this is why I'm asking this question about the reason that they should sustain and hold themselves for marriage and all of the different things that come in, when you violate the principles of God. So I want to ask this question as it pertains to, having those. And I got another question after this, but do you believe it was because you were so, you mentioned having 5 girlfriends at one time. Do you believe that because you had been with that many women that it numbed you to actually even having genuine love for any of them?
No, it didn't numb me. It didn't numb me at all, but, how should I say, different ones, each one had a different purpose or reason in my life.
Oh my God. Okay,
I'm
come on.
serious.
This is a lie. You know how they say you can't handle the truth? This is a lie. Come on, Brother
One had a
Timothy.
different purpose in my life. You have the young one who is the stallion. You have the one that is your age who will kind of give you some logic but don't really know what they're doing either, so they'll go with whatever you say. Then you have the older one that really know what they're doing, and you got to act right. You can't come halfway with that. You got to be right. You know what I'm saying? Because she got a job and she grown, and she's even dealing with you being a young man. So you got to act like you older than what you really are. And the other one is just whenever you can't get a hold to nobody else.
Come on.
And they will answer the phone every time, no matter what. And then you got the one that no matter what you do, they don't question you, they don't ask no questions, they allow you to be who you are as long as you respect them when you're in their presence.
Out of all of those, because the women gonna be listening now, which one is the one that the men want to marry?
The one that ain't paying you no mind. No.
If it's not the one that's mature and got the job, it's the one that's not paying you no mind.
The one that's not paying you no mind, and she is really out of your league, and you know it. You're going to chase that one to the end of time. Yes.
Referring to, okay, so the one that's out of your league that ain't paying you no mind is not the one that let you get away with everything.
No. Mm-mm.
Nope. Wow. And so this is breaking down a lot of parameters, because people think that if I'm a go along to get along type of woman, that is going to solidify space as a wife.
No, sure not. Because the one to go along, to get along, to whatever, no, I don't want that. Nope, because those are the Klingons. They clingy. The ones that are, they clingy. You can't go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking to in there? The toilet
Oh
paper.
my
I'm talking to the
gosh.
toilet paper.
Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. This is gonna be this gonna watch. This gonna do numbers. This is good. Brother, okay. All right. So we got that. So now as you have transitioned, kind of out of the player stage to raising your daughters, is it okay? So does it when you get adopted? Because this is what I've heard. I'm just gonna tell you what I heard. They say most of the ones that did all of the planning and things like that, those are the best fathers to their daughters. So this is the question. Is it once you have the child that you start to have, the daughter specifically, that you start to have remorse for the way that you were, and it causes you to want to change the way, the way that you interact with women because of what could potentially happen to your daughters? Is that what took place with you?
Yeah, kind of. My oldest daughter, most of all, you know what I'm saying? Because she was the one that was hellfire and earthquake. I mean, that girl, oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I ain't in jail. That one there, you know what I mean?
And now for a brief intermission.
Hi, Mimi Kelly here. I came today to be on video, on camera. I haven't done this in so long, to inspire, encourage, and inform. And I'm going to do it backwards. Inform you of Jesus Entertainment. This is a brand started by a young woman of God, and she has a magazine, which is on Amazon. Just type in Jesus Entertainment. Entertainment, it's ENT. She has a journal. This is a journal, actually. This is a magazine. The journal is also under Jesus ENT for entertainment. I believe it's attire. Is her store with all of her Jesus Entertainment attire. She has attire, she has the journal, she has the magazine. It's a brand, folks. It's growing. And I came here to encourage her to keep going because I know about small beginnings. I'm still in a small beginning because I'm always trying something new. But when I started out as an artist, I started with 2 books, On Edge and Wings to Fly. And I self-published On Edge without an agent. And my first book signing was with a best-selling author, Eric Jerome Dickey. At the time, he wasn't a best-selling author. We didn't know he was going to become a best-selling author, but he did. And that's what small beginnings are about. Following your passion that God has placed in your heart and believing in yourself and showing up and being okay with the small beginning. Okay? So that's my encouragement and my inspirational call is just to young people. I adore you. I love you. I see your genius and how you're able to work this, the technology and this technological economy. I wish I could do half of the stuff that you guys do on the internet. It's amazing. Both of my producers are younger than me. And one of the producers, no matter what I ask her, okay, I need to know how many times we're at this location. I need to know how many times we sit in the living room. I need to know whatever. She's able to go to her software and pull it up for me for every night in LA that I'm in pre-production. So, don't despise small beginnings. This is on Amazon. This magazine is amazing. One Night in LA is in there. But there's so many different articles about this is a poet, a poet, Sora, a friend of mine. It has stories for entrepreneurs. I think for February, it had a lot of love stories about people who are believers and in love and how to maneuver that journey. And so, these are crazy times and we need positive stories and narratives to help us understand how to put one foot in front of the other because these are crazy, crazy times. So get your copy of Jesus Entertainment. Follow her on Instagram, Jesus ENT. And there I am. And I'm so grateful and honored to be on her magazine. It's taken me way too long to do this video, but I hope she's able to share it widely. I'm going to share it everywhere. And I hope that helps. I hope it helps her business. So that is my little word for today. God bless you.
A special thank you to Mimi Kelly. Now, let's get back into the message.
She reminded me of myself, but a female. Yeah. She reminded me much of myself, but a female. And I used to watch these boys go crazy. Oh man, dad, tell him, dude is already sitting in the back porch, and there's one at the door. Dad answers the door, tell him I'm not here. What? But she telling me in the kitchen, so the dude in the backyard can't hear her talking to me to tell the dude at the door that she ain't there. So I said, oh wow. Okay. So man. Man, say you think you know when she coming back? Oh, that hurt.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, because it just reminded me of myself so much. But to see when I thought about the look on that young man's face, I remember feeling like that when I gave a young lady a ring and we went out to a Christmas dinner and she left me in the restaurant with my ring. She left with my ring, left me in the restaurant because she had to go somewhere else with her family. And I was hurt. And later on, to find her in front of her house kissing on another dude, I was crushed. My mama told me to because I loved her too much. My mama said, that girl, that ain't the one. I'm trying to tell you, that girl ain't worth nothing. I'm like, yeah, mama, look at her though. She said, yeah, she is beautiful. She's a very beautiful young girl. But she's not for you. And I tried. And after that, I tried to go back again. She hurt me again. And what made me give up, my mama came home from work and we had a big baseball park across the street from where we lived. And I was sitting in the park in the rain crying about this girl. Crying. My mom said, no, if you don't get yourself in this house, in the rain, sitting there, you ain't got no umbrella, no nothing. You just sitting there looking
Come
stupid.
on, mama.
I bet she ain't sitting in the rain. You better come on in here, man. And from that point, it gave me, to hear my mom speak with that power. It gave me the strength to say no. And she tried. I saw her a while after that. She was working in the grocery store and she was a cashier. I went shopping for my mama. She said, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Look, how much this costs? Oh, so you ain't gonna talk your job? You need to do your job, shout this, because I got to get out of here." And I didn't even trust myself to stay around her long enough because I know how much I felt for her. I probably would have been like the simp to say, "Okay," and go right back to fire. So I said, no, I got away from that, and years later when I was with my first wife, we went back to New York to visit and I saw her and she did not look the same. She was pregnant. She had a child on the left arm, the child in the right hand, and pushing. Yeah. I said, oh, she said, hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. How you doing? Oh, remember so-and-so? Yeah, the dude that you left me alone for? Oh, yeah, he got life in prison. I said, he left you with all of that? Yeah. Well, do you know I still live in the same place? I said, yeah, my wife is sitting in that car right there. I was just stopping at the grocery store. It was great to see you. You have a nice life, and I hope that works out for you.
Oh, wow. See?
Yep.
See? Yep. And so, wow, this is good. This is healing too, because you walking through the process and you seeing how much you have grown and how much God have done for you. Now, I just want to ask a question for the listeners because I know they want to know. I know they want to know. At the time that you did propose to her, remember you said you had your little fair share of people you was talking to all at one time. So did she have a reason to say, I don't want to, commit to this because of some of the things y'all had gone through? Or was she just, being nasty? Or did she have a reason to feel that way?
She had no clue about nobody else.
No clue, but it was happening though. Wait. But it was happening.
Yes, it was. It was happening. Yes, it was happening.
We gonna go past it.
It was happening. It was happening. It was happening. You know what I'm saying? But I loved her different. I loved her different. Yeah.
It's real different. I overheard a conversation the other day. I can't always be putting out who I be hearing these conversations. They be like, you don't need to be telling what. But I heard some young men talking, and one of them, they was saying, the girls were mad at the young men. They said, well, the guy, he gonna have to choose one of them. And then the friend of the guy said he loved both of them. I said, how you gonna love both of them? I ain't gonna love both of them. I ain't say nothing, but I just overheard. Said, well, he loved both of them. He said it like it was justified. So I guess that is something, that can actually take place because you said I loved her differently. So you may have been involved, with other situations, but you had a different kind of love for her that maybe, we don't know. It probably would have changed, as things went on. And so let's keep on going because we're talking about trauma, generational trauma, and breaking down those barriers. And so to see your daughter grow up, and then she's showing these traits very similar to how yours were, and also some things that you had inherited from her grandfather. Who transitioned on when you were 12 years old. And then she gets to the point where she has these children and the fathers are not around. So this is what happens when the fathers are not around. Then the men that are in the family, they have to get more involved because that includes uncles, that includes brothers, that includes nephews if they're of age, like adults, that includes the father. And so with you having to be more involved, what did that cause you to reflect on anything or even feel sympathy or empathy for your daughter to see her going, having to go through being a single mother and then not having any, any male that she had the children by to support her through that process?
Yes. My daughter lives in Georgia, and I went out there to see her after she went through some craziness with this one dude, and she knew I was coming, and she was supposed to have been there, but she was running from me. But she finally came, and I sat her down and I was talking to her, and I could not hold it. I broke down, and I said, what your mother, your biological mother, went through. Myself and your grandmother, we raised you together, mostly your grandmother, because I was still crazy myself, but we were the two that were the link to try to hold you together. But you know what your biological mother went through. And for me to see you going through some of these same things or whatsoever, for her mother, it was drugs, but for her, it's not the drugs, it's promiscuism. And I'm saying, you gotta, like, please break that cycle, let that go. And I broke down, I cried, and she was kind of cold, like she didn't, and the young lady that was there that she was living with was like, look at your father, he's talking to you. That man is sitting here crying in front of people he don't even know. And that's all you say, and she tried to walk away. And as she was walking away, she broke down at the door. I like to say that for that moment, it changed. But after I got in my car and I got back on 75 to come back to Florida, it was the same thing again, you know. So I went to God, and he said, look, just like I got you, I got her. Shut up. Because the more you try to train her and fight her and tell her what to do, that's how she's gonna fight you even harder. So let me do this, and you go sit down. I said, well, God, I haven't spoke to her in a couple of months. He said, yeah, I know, but she's okay. But he made a way for me to find out about her, though, through my grandson. He's got a phone. And he called Pop Pop and let Pop Pop know what's going on. But I'm afraid for her all the time because I know she don't have no brake. She is all gas pedal. And it's out of anger for myself, for her mother, and I guess all of these different guys that she's been with that lied to her, like I lied to other women. So sometimes I feel I'm responsible that my karma has transferred to her. So yeah, I do feel bad.
Wow. And so I invited some people up to the stage. If you want to come up, just go ahead and come up so that they can ask some questions or add in. This was such a powerful interview. I just had to look at the time because I try to keep them, at a certain time span. But this has really gone into some really deep crevices of thought as it pertains to trauma. And what I tell people all the time is an addiction can be anything. And so sometimes people make it seem like the heroin addict or the cocaine addict is worse than the prostitute. This is not a means for judgment because God can deliver even them. I'm saying you into that because you're addicted. There's a greater difference because some people, a food addiction. It's just something, whatever you're using to try to cope with life circumstances. And so to know that that was something that was passed down, and even the fact that it brought forth weeping, it could be because this is the only way I know how to cope with life. So that is something that's very common in the world system. And aunties teach this. And I'm not saying the saved ones. I'm talking about the ones that's trying to tell you, they tell you all kinds of bad information. I done had a few. They tell you cheat back. They tell you the way you get over a man and get another man. They tell you all the wrong, all the wrong advice. And so if you're listening to this, and let's not add music into the equation, because these lyrics that's coming from the songs, it's not telling you the right thing to do. But that's the reason I cling on to the word of God, because God is going to tell me the truth. Just like that woman that was at the well with the 5 husbands and the situation. He said, he said, go get your husband. She said, I have no husband. He said, you said truthfully you don't have a husband, because you have had 5 husbands and the one you got right now is not your husband. And so he spoke truth to power, and she got deliverance. You know why? He didn't try to embarrass her. He didn't put her on Front Street. He even sent his disciples away so that nobody was present when he was having that conversation with her but him and her. Because there are certain things that we deal with that secretly, if you really got an addiction, the last thing you need somebody to do, and people try to do this in families, and that's why it fails. You'll have somebody in front of the whole family, and it's some people snickering and some people judging and saying, you need to come off that stuff or whatever. You humiliating the person. You don't want them to be free. You gonna probably send them into a relapse with all of that, because they already know when people got an issue, 9 times out of 10 they know they have an issue. When I started gaining weight after I had my last child, I didn't need nobody to tell me I was gaining weight. I knew I was gaining weight, and it's not that I wanted to. But after I had the knee injury, it was hard for me to do the stuff I used to do. So it started to accumulate. But I had family members that thought they meant well, that reminded me every time I don't need y'all to remember. Like, when a person got a problem, they don't need you to keep telling them what the problem is. They want the solution. Come on here. It's not that
you ain't never lie. You ain't never lie right there, boy. Because I had an aunt. You say, "Ooh, you look kind of thin. What's wrong?
Come
What's wrong with
on.
you?
Right,
What's wrong with
right.
you?" You already know, everybody know around here that I was running around here on fire like a $4 collard greens, $4 pot of collard greens on a $2 stove. So what you mean?
So it's not that I don't know
What
I
you
got a
mean?
problem. Most people that have a problem. They know they have a problem. I need the
Oh yeah.
solution. And you'll take it fastly. I just saw one of my good friends the other day, and she got out before she could even get out the car. I noticed that it was a glow on her, and she had lost weight. And then the first thing she started talking about is how she did it. Girl, you see how they lost? I said, girl, yes, you did. And she started telling me, and that when people have a problem, they don't need you to keep rehearsing. They already know. And then oftentimes you will send them into a deeper form of whatever they was doing because I don't know how to get rid of it. It's not that I don't want to stop doing this. I don't know how to get rid of this. That's an addiction. It's different. And that's why most people go to psychological means. They get therapy, they get medication because it's a deeper mean. But we go to Jesus because he's our antidote. And so in that moment when she was at the well, he realized you in your sick situation. I know you don't know how to get out of this. That's the reason you still here. But he had to let her know that the water you trying to come get, you gonna thirst after again. Imagine when you have gotten, high or drunk, whatever, you want it again. But if the water that I'm gonna give you, it's gonna be in you. So I'm gonna give you something that's gonna help you to sustain. Come on here. I'm going to give you something that's going to help you to come off of that. Because I'm going to tell you something, Brother Timothy. I could have been just like your daughter. Before BC, I could have been just like her. Because I had a few things I was involved in, a few things that I was doing. And the best thing that God could do for me was save me. That is the best thing that he could do for me. Because you got people giving you offers all the time. You get out of one heartbreaking situation. And like I said, the bad advice aunties, they come in, girl, you see they didn't move on. You might as well go move. And now you in a situation that don't work, a situation that don't work. And after a while, you start realizing, this just probably ain't it. And so when you get into God, he put you in purpose. And that's really what saved my life, for me not to say I haven't done some things, because I do have consequences for the things that I have done. But when I got into God, he gave me a purpose. You can study. You don't have to do that. You can start your business. You don't have to do that. You can go back to school. You don't have to do that. And it took my mind off of doing things like that left me empty, just like that woman at the well. And as he started to build me up so that I can focus my energy and my attention in another place. And so that's what I think this generation needs. And I'm going to let Sister Serena ask her question. And Brother Timothy, I know you want to jump in here too, because come on, Brother Timothy, you can share first. And then Sister Serena, if you got something you want to share, you can come in too. I'm you.
I just wanted to say really quick, like my 3 daughters, I named all 3 of them. And I named them after precious things. The first one is de monnaie, which is French for money. The second one is sapphire, which is a precious jewel. The third one is Nebeah, which is heaven spelled backwards. And wow, the relationship between the 3 of them is crazy. Like, you already know about the oldest one. The youngest one, which is Nebeah, I don't really have a relationship with her at all. We talk every now and then. It's, hey, hi, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Yep, long time no see. All right, Bob, you need anything? Nope. All right, see you later. But the middle one, Sapphire, oh my God. Her and I have gotten so close. So close. Her mother passed away. And for a long time, all she had was the lies from her uncles and aunts and grandmother. And she reached out to me on her own. She said, Dad, no matter what it is, just tell me the truth. And I gave her the truth of what it was. She said, okay, all right. And just this year, I saw her face to face for the first time since she was 3 years old. And wow, that was beautiful. Now we talk every day. We exchange what's the good movies. I got her watching the movies that I like. I got her to download the Tubi on her TV, helped her get a Fire Stick going, and we talk about the different movies that we watch or whatsoever. And she tells me some of the most intimate things that a daughter would tell their mothers, and she tells it to me, her father. Dad, I don't want a kid, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to lie to you. Me and my boyfriend was playing around, and I'm scared. And, what do you think I should do? Should you think I should do this? Because my insurance won't let me get the birth control anymore. So I'm scared. What do? I said, just wait. Just wait. I said, go get yourself some home pregnancy tests. And she said, well, okay, what do? I said, get 3 of them. If you use the 2 of them and 2 of them say the same thing, it is what it is. But, and she did that, and she's safe. No pregnancy or whatsoever. And she says, Dad, I'm definitely going to be a lot more careful, because I know and I seen what my mom went through to raise me, and I don't think I have the capability to raise a child right now, because I still feel like a child myself doing adult things. Wow. So my longing is to get that same relationship with the youngest one, but she'll come around. She'll come around.
Yes, she will. And we're going to be praying in Jesus' name, because daughters need their fathers. And I actually was just on the phone with my dad before this interview. And not only do you need your father, but he's been very instrumental in the life of my son. When my son hit his teenage years, we did some. It's like I didn't even know who it was anymore. So who are you? It's my son, but he's growing. And my father was able to pinpoint some things in him as a young man that I didn't even know. In certain conversations, I remember when we was younger. Well, when he was younger, I was younger too. And we was at the beauty supply store, and my father was finna give my son one of those cool styles they used to have back in the day, but you need a box for it to do it. And I hear him around the corner talking to my son. He said, "Hey, Richard, I'm finna hook you up." And I'm thinking, I'm like, Dad, you ain't finna put that process in my son's head. But it's just the fact of having an older man involved in the process of a younger man becoming himself, and they still have a very close relationship to this day. So that was a very valid point, and we thank you for being here with us, Brother Timothy. Just like you told Brother E, tell him I'm still alive. You're still alive out of all that you went through. We didn't even get to the beating part where you said that you had been beaten. I didn't know if that was something that was caused by way of police violence or what that was. Do you want to touch on it quickly? You said you had been.
That was police violence. I lived in a really rough neighborhood in Hollywood, Florida, and my ex-wife, we were arguing, and she decided she was going to go home for a week to Chicago. She's from Chicago. And she left, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have me a great time now. Boy, I'm gonna have a house to myself." And that's back then. There was a Blockbuster was out, and I was on my way to Blockbuster trying to catch them before they closed at midnight. It was about a little after 11, and it wasn't far from the house, so I'm walking, and it was started to rain, and I seen an unmarked vehicle fly past. I'm walking southbound, and the SUV is on the northbound side. It's raining now, and he's flying. They turn around and he comes back to me and pull me over, and I'm like, "Dude, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, check this out. You're gonna go in that house around the corner. You're gonna take this $100 and you're gonna buy this crystal meth out of this house." I'm not buying nothing. He's like, "Dude, you're going to do this." I'm not doing none of that. He says, "Well, if you don't, then this paraphernalia and these drugs are yours. How about that?" I said, "You do what you need to do." And when they grabbed me, we started fighting and tussling and whatsoever. And they drove me to an alley and they beat me. they broken and knocked out altogether was 13 teeth. And yeah, there was no way I could prove that. They cut their cameras off and they beat me in an alley. And one of the reporter says I was like that for resisting arrest.
Oh my goodness, Brother Timothy. That's traumatic in and of itself.
Here you go, Mom.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. My ex.
Where's Ben Crump? Ben Crump. I hope you hear this.
Yeah, right.
Is it too late? Listen, that is horrible.
It's too late. You know what I mean? And I was so wrapped up in the addiction at that time, I didn't even try to fight it. You know, I just let it
You know,
go.
that's so terrible. Oh, that's so terrible. Because rather you was addicted or not, they had no right to beat you like that, and you lost 13 teeth.
Yeah, my ex-wife, she was a registered nurse or whatsoever. She had great insurance, and they gave me a whole new set of teeth. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, glory be to God for that. Oh my goodness, this is a movie. This has really been great, Brother Timothy. I thank God for you coming and sharing with us on today. As I shared with you all earlier, this particular interview is the first one that I have done that not in the lifetime of the podcast, but specifically for this season and in some time. You know what's so funny is usually the men that request this. The first person that ever requested this was a man as well, and said that they did not want questions. They just wanted to, do it like as is from the heart. And so I have thoroughly enjoyed this interview, man of God. And that's why it's so important. The Bible declares that God is hidden these treasures in earthen vessels. You don't know what you just did when you spoke about the alcohol and the spirits